few years ago, Seafood Friday was the happening event on the West Coast, bringing thousands into Anse La Raye on a Friday night for seafood-themed fiesta. It was a major contributor to the Anse La Raye economy. Today it is in decline and now facing a rethink by the community. Anse La Raye is known for culture, sporting talent and fishing, and so fittingly we headed to the Bay Area for a chat with a fisherman there, and the first person we spoke to is known in the community as Lidwin. At the time, he was repairing his nets, but the first thing he wanted to talk about was the impact of increases in fuel prices on the fishing sector. Fishermen cannot patrol as much as they want to or go as far as they'd like to because of high fuel prices and the absence of a gas station to service Anse La Raye and canneries.
You have to spend more money, to go out and buy gas. Sometimes you have to hire a van to go also Susi, Altisac, to boat gas and so on. Sometimes you find a fella, we could go to Marigot and buy our gas. So we wish to have a gas station down there. So I don't know what the government going to do, to try and give us help, on that, because gas is expensive. And sometimes the fish itself is very hard too. Sometimes if we go to sea once, we can even go twice, because the money coming in, sometimes the fishing is very hard. So, fellas, we have children to send to school, and everything is expensive. So as if we asking the government, whatever they have to do, if they could give us help for the gas station and whatsoever. So I think that's all I have to say for now.
You will certainly need that for fishermen and canneries as well, because they're part of your organization as well.
Yeah, they're part of, Well, almost, the canneries is the same thing, because they're suffering for the gas. Sometimes they're going right down to Sufra and buy gas. So it is a little bit hard for them too. So if you have a gas station down there, instead of going to Sufra, they could come down here, and buy the gas. When they go into sea, they could pass, buy the gas and go out to sea.
Is the fishing nowadays getting tougher, or is it getting easier? What's the situation?
Well, with the fishing situation, sometimes, that is the way it is. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Yeah. It is not every day. Every day is the fishing day, but every day is not a catching day. So, as I told you, gas is going all the time, and money I'm making. So when we do a little catch, as soon as we got that little change, as I told you, we have to send our children to school, and gas already taking all them because gas is expensive. So the little thing you have, it is just sufficient for the house. Because some of us have about 2 children going to school. Those who have 3, those who have 1, it's according. Because, and we have we have no work around there to say somebody could get a job, to do for the time being. At the time, if the sea's hard, they could get something to do on land, but nothing ain't coming nowhere.
When you go out fishing, how far do you go? Do you fish in the area, you go further out?
Well, going out 10 miles, we have a fad about 10 miles, so we're going all about 10 miles. Sometimes it would be 15 miles too. Going out and look for fishing. Yeah, sometimes we live in there, our nets, going all top by Gro's left side, come back, sometimes we go away, sometimes we catch a thing, sometimes it's nothing. We go in all by Sufra side and look for balao, jacks, young jacks, but nothing ain't coming. So, when we get a little thing, we praising God, thanks God for that.
So you mentioned the fad. The fad is working, it's actually getting fish for you?
Well, there is times things is going good, but there is times it is bad.
So let me ask you, do you find that a lot of young guys are now getting into fishing?
Well, we have plenty of young guys going out fishing in Anse La Raye. Because as I told you, there's no work in Anse La Raye to do. Mostly all the young boys, when they're from school, is right by the bay they are. They are the one right now, they are the young generation right now doing the fishing. Because all the older fellas, some passed away, young fellas, they can't go to sea again, so they're doing anything. It's the young boys right now, it's coming right now, going to sea right now.
How do you get most of your fish?
Well, we getting fish, both ways, both from them nets, both going out deep fishing.
Now, one more question. I know the Anse La Raye Fish Fry was introduced to generate a bit of activity for fishermen as well. How is it working out for you?
Well, I myself, not for me, because, I take my fish, I sell it for the vendors, for the fish fry vendors, so the other one benefit from it. But I'm getting a little thing from it too, because when I sell my fish for them, something coming in. But the good thing is that, well, the people in the village, most of the shops, they themselves getting something out of what they are doing. So it is a good thing.
So the fish fry is benefiting both you and the vendors and the community itself?
Well, I will say yes.
Quite a bit of the economic activity in Anse La Raye is driven by the small retail shops. The biggest employer is government. It hires school teachers, police officers and council workers. We met with Timothy Harrell, one of the retailers, for his own assessment of the Anse La Raye economy and about life in general.
My name is Timothy Harrell. As you said a while ago, I'm just known as a small business person, just have a little business just up the hill.
Can you describe to us the kind of a business that you're into?
Well, it's a small mini-mart, grocery shop per se. I also sell gas, Rubis gas.
How active is the local business community in Anse La Raye?
Well, I must say there are times it does well, there are other times where it is on the slow side. Things are not the same every day. And one of the things that is contributing to that is that a lot of our people are unemployed. If you go around the village today, you would see how dead the place is. You know, so one of the things that a lot of our people depend on is construction all over the country. And as we are aware now that there is not much construction, so a lot of the people are unemployed, or a lot of our young men are unemployed. So that is basically a big problem we have, unemployment. Some of our young people, the young men, they go into fishing. But it is not something that on a daily basis you get something every day. It is something where today you get something and tomorrow you don't get. In terms of farming, there is not much happening, you understand? So I would say more or less is the main thing is construction.
If you had to list like 2 or 3 things that you think ought to be paid some priority attention to in Anse La Raye, what would they be from your own perspective?
Well, right now we are on the playing field and our health center is to the right of us. And I believe we have the worst health center in the area, in St. Lucia. And I hope something is done to it very, very soon. Secondly, our playing area. Today, as we speak, they are about to put lights. But the surfacing of the field needs to be done. Somebody has to do something about it.
In terms of inspiration, who are the people in Anse La Raye who can inspire, who've done well, who've made the community proud, that you think that the youth can look up to?
Well, in terms of culture, Anse La Raye lose a lady by the name of Petronella de Tervel. I think she worked in music, and I think she did well for the young men in the community. I think they have a musical group, the Charles Cadet Orchestra. I think that's the name. I think she did well. From the time I know her as a little boy growing up, I think she was one of those who really understood what music was all about, and I think she tried her best in helping the young people to go into that direction.
As we heard in Program 1, there are plans to resurface the Anse La Raye playing field, and we can say too that there are plans to honor Petronella de Tervel in a big way later this year. Calabash community will provide more details when available. The cultural icon who started the famed Sicilian race died 4 years ago. This is Calabash community. Stay tuned for more on Anse La Raye as we visit a historic treasure and talk about some of the challenges being faced in the community.